Oh, all right. It seems like we are almost live. Whew. All right, let's see if this connects. And if this connects, then we are set to go. All right, let's see. Come on. Interesting. Stop stream. Huh. Hello. Why can't I see you guys? Huh. Okay. Well, hoping this connects. All right, if you guys can see this, let me know in the chat. I have no idea why this is being difficult. Huh. Cancel. Okay. Oh, okay, so you guys can actually see me. Ah, okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so glad to have you guys on board. Welcome to today's video. Hopefully, I can actually log on here. Okay, yay! We are live! Okay, so Breezy J, hello, how's it going? Drawing Gamer 93, woohoo, what up? Sync Owner, what's up, bro? What's good? A lot's good. A lot is good. And it's gonna be awesome tomorrow. I'm gonna tell you guys all about it. Garbanzo the third, hello everybody. Hi. Hi, Rodgon, says Roshan. See Delta, what's up? Everybody. Hi Nick, Mizuki, what up? Okay, so as you guys can see, I have this very nifty software here. And this isn't Photoshop, and this isn't Clip Studio or what the normal things that I'm normally used to. This cool piece of software here is Medibang Paint Pro. And this is the software I'm gonna have to get used to compete in tomorrow's UK Illustration Championships. Yeah, I get to compete against some amazing artists tomorrow. Yeah, it's a pretty intimidating thing. Mostly because it's at like 11 o'clock in the morning for me, and I'm competing against people that have been warmed up and everything throughout the whole day. So it's going to be interesting for sure. Uh, Let me tell you guys a little bit about it. I got approached a couple years ago to participate in this event, and I was never able to travel to the UK to be able to do it. So, this time around, since everything is remote, I got invited to participate. And it's going to be epic because I get to battle it out in a 1 hour long competition against some really, really dope artists. And it's just really nutty to know that I'm going to be representing the Western United States in a very cool, like, it's like the UFC but for art, and it's really cool. I'll have to go to my Instagram and you guys can see the trailer for it. It's really cool. Yeah. And I get to battle it out tomorrow at 11:45. The Twitch information will be on my Instagram immediately after the stream. Okay? So everybody go to my Instagram. It should be in the description or somewhere. Somebody post it. Please put it in the comments or something. And just go there right after my stream. Give me like 5 minutes after my stream. And I will post the links and all the information for this so that Team Rodgon can, so I can have some fans there rooting for me. You know? I feel kind of special. It would be so cool to see some of you guys there. Well, not that I'll see you guys there, but you know what I mean. Alright. So, it has a very painterly feel to it. Especially when I'm just using the pencil tool. I'm just going to go rotate through most of the tools. And we're just going to create something with the tools that we see and how we're going to learn how to use this program together. So right now I'm using the pencil tool. It seems like you have your brushes. I didn't set it in that way. Okay, hold on. Pew, 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 pew. Now can I do this? No. Okay, well, anyways, over here to the left, you will see that there's like a number and a percentage. The number at the top is the size of the brush. So that's pretty easy. Slide up or down, or you can press the brackets. You know, this one and this one. This one makes it smaller, this one makes it bigger. And I kind of like this element right here. So we're going to add it right there. So that's how you can quickly make the brush up or down. And that seems to be the case on most illustration software that you might use. So, little hint, just learn the keyboard shortcuts to Photoshop, and honestly, those apply to pretty much every other piece of software that you guys, will ever use. So just get used to those shortcuts. Shortcuts speed up your art considerably, and they also allow you to save a lot of time, especially when you're doing a lot of the same things all the time. So, my suggestion, learn shortcuts. Now, if I just flip my Wacom around, it gives me a hard brush for an eraser. So I'm guessing that if I go to my eraser tool and I change that, How do you change it to a soft eraser? Airbrush. Is it this one? There you go. Okay, so you have a variety of brushes right here, and even the eraser tool can have a pencil-like feel, or it can have any of the other ones. So in this case, if I want something like a soft brush, I'm going to assume that an airbrush, but that doesn't really act like an airbrush. So, let's see. There you go, eraser soft. Well, it's not very soft either, but eraser soft, settings, width. Okay. Alright, let's drop the opacity. Well, that's not working, right? Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to make the brush be softer, but opacity by pressure. Okay, so maybe this one doesn't have to have opacity by pressure. No. If you right click onto any of the brushes in the little icon right there, it's gonna pop up a little menu that you apparently, it seems you guys can't see. So I'm trying to figure out the settings, but you know what? Let's continue on. Let's just keep drawing. The bead always tends to be brush or, yeah, just brush. So, B will always be brush, like almost 100% of the time. Okay, so we're going back to the pencil tool. I'm just gonna build out this other eye. And I thought I have it at 100% opacity. That gives me a really solid edge. So if you set your brush to not have pressure, nope. You can't have no effective end. Okay. So you gotta have thick to thin. Like, how can you possibly do that? Okay. I'm gonna try the pen tool now. Okay, the pen tool reminds me a little bit of the G pen in Clip Studio, and just the hard brush in Photoshop. Oh, by the way, go ahead and ask questions and stuff. I'll take a look up in a second. Oh yeah, I gotta get used to the controls that I set too. So I think part of the competition is having a limited color palette. Man, I gotta like go back and read the pamphlet again. But yeah, it's there are certain rules to it, and I have to adhere to those rules as I create something within an hour. Alright, so we're gonna do that. Okay, so the responsiveness of the pen is actually really nice because I'm gonna be using probably a lot of cross-hatching and a lot of detail like this. So it's very good to see that small detail is not getting lost, and that the actual program responds really nicely with the pen. So that's probably gonna be my go-to. Mostly because it just reminds me of a ballpoint pen. How big could I get it? Oh, so yeah, that's gonna be my go-to. Um, let's see. I'm really debating on how to approach it tomorrow. And I don't want to divulge anything. I want to keep all the suspense there. Alright. Let's see. So that works for very soft detail. Like really small detail. Let's see. Should probably make that bigger, huh? There you go. Let's do that. All right, let's read some comments, and we'll continue on. What program is this? Medibang, MEDI Bang, BANG. Nikolai Baker. Oh, Nikayla Baker. Hi, big fan of you. I'm a big fan of you for being a fan of me. Thank you. Jack Bowen. Hello, human. Rosham Bayalayar. Please create a character drawing tutorial playlist. Man, that takes a while because I have like over 100 and something videos. So I don't really have much time to tend to my channel as much as I wish. I barely keep up with my Instagram. But I'll see what I can do. And I also know that I'm gonna start building more structured classes as well. But that comes later. That comes down the line. Jack Bolin, is it good for animation? I don't know. I'm learning this software right now along with you guys. That's the one I'm competing on, like, in a few hours. Actually, probably in under 15 hours I have to compete doing this. So, oof. I need to actually get to drawing. So I'm gonna be here a while, if that's what it like you guys are wondering. Dragons on Stilts, howdy, how are you? I am doing great today. Hanif Masuki, I wish you luck with the competition, my good sir. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna need it. Some amazing talent there. I'm so happy because I actually get to meet some of these people. So I'm looking forward to it. AS, there should be Rodgon basketball jersey with Rodgon on the back. Hey, so if someone wants to design that, I'll set it up on my TeePublic store so you guys can all buy them. And it doesn't cost you guys anything. Just send me the artwork. What program is this? Medibang. Sank owner, good luck tomorrow. You got this. I hope so. I hope so. I think that I have a really good chance. Hanif Mizuki, go Team Rodgon! Woo! Sponge Rod would be a cool spin-off of SpongeBob. He would have glasses and a mustache. Yeah. Does the challenge require you to use the basic brushes for Medibang, or can you transfer your own? Honestly, you probably can transfer your own, but I don't even use brushes normally when I draw on my normal, like, all my stuff. So I'm not used to using textured brushes and stuff. I just get creative with whatever I can see. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to just play around with all the tools. And whatever I can come up with is what's going to come up with. I'm pretty confident in my ability to create something really cool in an hour. So I'm not too stressed. Even if I lose, I still got to compete with some amazing people. But I'm not aiming to lose. Oh, yeah, I mean, Power Griffin says, would other artists have the edge from importing different brushes? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They would have an incredibly big edge on me. But, I'm not working with the software that I, would. I would probably actually do Adobe Illustrator. If I had the chance to compete and challenge someone to an art off, it would probably be Adobe Illustrator. I can be incredibly quick on that software. It's just it's really fun and very precise too. That's what I like about it. If you guys have issues with your line work, try using Adobe Illustrator to ink your stuff. On the iPad, it's so easy. Like, it's so easy. I'll have to make another tutorial, but I don't even think you'll need a tutorial. I think you just need to learn the basics of moving the pencil, and then you'd be good. Nikayla Baker, if you want to work for an animation company, do you have to go to the best college there is? Does that affect it, like, at all? Well, I mean, if you're going to the best college there is, yeah, of course, you're going to come out with a great education. Those schools are very far and in between, though. I'd say the most likely scenario, if you want to work for a big animation company, like, be dead focused on creating things that you know that they need to get into that industry. If you want to get in as a storyboard artist, storyboard every day, as much as you can, as much as possible. Try to get your hands on scripts for animation episodes, and then try to storyboard those and show that as a portfolio piece. Don't show them your life drawing. Don't show them like if you want to get the job and you want to be considered part of them, you need to already be part of them. So you need to understand what the job entails so that you can just provide that to them to let them know you can do it. A person that is applying for example, let's say a storyboard artist, gives them a lot of environmental drawings and a lot of really cool, like CG characters and animations. That's cool, but can you storyboard? It's like, yeah, I'm applying to make a pizza, but I know how to make burgers. Yeah, but do you know how to make pizza? Get what I mean? Eventually, when you start seeing things like that, you start creating artwork with the intent of applying it to one of those things. So, for example, I like a lot of my own, creations, and I like to mess around with a lot of, start drawing them. Like, I like drawing everything based on very, very loose interpretations of what I have in my mind. I have a very, very weird imagination, and I have the skills to represent that visually. So I just enjoy that process. I enjoy the process of just grabbing simple shapes, not knowing what I'm going to draw first, because I never know what I'm going to draw first. It's completely up to the lines and whatever the lines tell me. It's very rare that I have a set plan when I'm drawing anything. In this case, I can make a zombie or something. So I've gotten used to started doing this. I'm drawing the teeth in first. Right? And the teeth are like this shape. Right? So I've been getting used to doing that so I can determine this side of the mouth and this side of the mouth. Because I've been trying to really break down the structure of the front of the face a lot more. Because I have very, very bad habits from when I was doing caricatures all the time. So the huge horrible habits that I developed was that I started taking shortcuts when it came down to mapping out the faces. So I would always have this little indent thing right here on absolutely every drawing. And sometimes whenever I didn't see it, I would still add it. And it would just not look like the things that I wanted. And I know it sounds super silly, but it actually stopped my growth for a while. And it wasn't until I got away from doing caricatures all the time that I was able to actually kind of regain that. And it's so weird because I love caricatures, but since I made it my sole focus, and that was literally the only thing that I like to do, it pretty much ate up into other foundations that it shouldn't have gone into. You know, like there was a very long point where I couldn't even draw a portrait properly because everything looked like a caricature. Even when I didn't want it to, which was the worst part. And that's like that's the problem with always having that's the problem that comes with finding something that's really fun and cool and then doing it for too long, and then that becomes the sole thing you do. Forgot to turn my phone off. Let's see. So we have our upper mouth, we have our chin. Our lower jaw would come down, come around, and back up. But that's only if we want the mouth to be like that. Then the teeth, still into perspective. And then you have the lip. Alright. That's not bad. Oh yeah, and you guys might also wonder, why do I draw myself so much? Like, this guy must be so into himself. He must think that he's just the shit. Well, half of that is right. But it's also because this is the shape that I got used to. Back in college, we had a teacher that told us that if you want to learn how to create a lot of different styles, you need to find your shape. And your shape, in some cases, scenarios, would be like a character that you like and that you could replicate already. I'll explain all that. So, your shape, let's say that it's, I don't know, Pikachu. Right? You already know how to draw Pikachu because he's a little tiny little ball of fluff with dots, right? Yeah, whatever. So, imagine that you know how to draw a Pikachu really, really good. Now, you just want to draw other Pokemon now. How do you do that? Well, you already know how to draw this guy. So you look at, for example, I don't know, what does a Bulbasaur look like? My God, this video is gonna turn into like making fun of Rod for not knowing how to draw a Pokemon. Let's see. It's gonna turn out more like Venusaur. Okay, forget the Pokemon reference. Let's forget we mentioned Pokemon as a reference here. Let's simplify this a little bit. By the way, I set up a shortcut so I could make a new layer by just pressing F1. Because when you're drawing in competitions and stuff, going and clicking and dragging and stuff like that is probably useless use of time. That you can put like an extra line or something. So, that's how you do it. Okay, so let's go back to the shape dynamic thing. So let's say that you draw a person like this all the time, right? You just got used to drawing somebody in this style. Whatever, we have this style. So you understand already, if you are able to actually move this character and draw him in different ways, and let's just, for the sake of argument, say that you do. Now, this could be your shape. Now, all you gotta do is realize what shapes you're using and then just modify this to look like something else. So, in this case, maybe we square them off, smaller nose, maybe make them grumpy, but we keep the same elements and shapes that we used with this one. We just change it up a little bit and then we come up with something else. This is what I do constantly, but using my own face as a reference. So if I want to figure out how to draw myself as like a Looney Tunes type of thing, or draw myself into more of like a comic book, or I am able to do that now because I have just drawn myself in any shape or form, right? But now if I just remove the glasses, I make the nose smaller, and then I just take that same design element and then just change the features a little bit. Now I can have like a super sexy demon chick. And then just refine it from there, but you already have the shape because I've drawn my own shape a million times. So I just change the features within my shape and then ta-da! So that's, in all reality, that's the reason that I draw myself so much. Because I found my features, and that's how I study things outside of my features. Like, how would they fall on me? How would they change from mine? And that's how I just learn little by little to carve in, carve out things, and then just you end up with something really cool. Questions? Okay. Just drop by to say what's up, and you and me tomorrow. Oh, that's very low. Verloe, Verloe. Go follow him too. That's gonna be so fun. That guy's amazing, man. Like, instant follow. Like, I didn't know about him before, but like I just saw his stuff. Hell yeah, I love the Illustrator for my drawings. Yeah, Adobe Illustrator is pretty fun. Let me drag this over here so I don't look like I'm looking away. So does the challenge give you a scene to draw and put you against other artists? Kinda. How do you color digitally? You color digitally by by using just programs like this. Like, then you make layers. Layers are like pieces of cake. That's one layer. Imagine that's a layer, right? Yay! And then you have something underneath that's gonna get covered by that thing on top, right? Since this layer is on top, it covers whatever's underneath. It does not allow for you to see what's underneath. It's like layering things up. So in order to color things properly, you normally make one layer that's just like, let's say an eye. Then you would make another layer underneath it so you can add the color. Right? And since we have the black layer on top, that's why you can't draw over the lines. Now, whenever you're drawing a lot of different things on this object, if you draw them all in the same layer, then you can't edit it really quickly, you know? But if you have it in different layers, you know, with the highlight here, the highlight right there looks like it's underneath the lines. So I'm just going to drag that layer, if it lets me. There you go. I just moved it to the top so it would be over the lines, and now it looks all shiny. And then when you go back to your colors, you can always add a little bit of gray to make those highlights pop. Right, but you don't want to have something just gray, so we're going to figure out how to protect alpha. Right here, I'm guessing is how you choose how you lock the pixels. I'm changing my opacity to a little bit low, and I'm just going to add a soft light. So now I'm just adding a little bit of light in the middle. Now, let's see what it looks like when I move it on top of that. No, that's too much. Boom. Let's do the same thing with this one. There you go. And that's how you go about coloring something digitally. You just set the layers, stack them on top of each other, and it's kind of like a puzzle piece. You know, just have to make sure that they're exactly on top. Make sure that you label everything so that you understand what you're doing. For example, people like me get lazy because we've been doing this for so long. We just kind of go at it. And sometimes we just create like 100 layers. We have to hunt down the ones that we need. You don't want that. So I highly recommend that you label everything. How do you color digitally? Well, I hope I just explained that to you. Is it weird that I don't like drawing other people's creations and that I'd rather draw my own in my own style? There's nothing wrong with that, like, at all. As a matter of fact, like, I really very much believe that we need more originality, like, period. Let's try some other pens. Sharp pen. What is this one? What does that do? Ooh, this has like a trail. Pow, 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 pow. Okay, that's gonna be cool for like grass. Okay, okay. Oh, you can choose the brush sizes there too. Yeah, this one's pretty cool for like foliage. Let's make a bar. So at this point, I'm just flicking the pen, creating the little leaf-like. And the fact that it's not even, it's not perfect, it's perfectly fine. Too small. So very quickly you can just create all the things that, like, you know, like extended brushes bring in and like what they do for you. It's just stuff that you should be able to do anyways. Like, you should not have to rely on, like, you don't want to rely on software. like, for example, like this effect, I can do it with a pen, I can do it with a spatula, I can do it with like real paint, like, because I'm understanding how the texture is made, right? So this the skill of knowing how to do that quickly, yeah, it takes time. Yeah, it's maybe not something that you necessarily feel like you need to really learn, but it's a cool skill set to have if you do. You know, for a very long time, I wanted to do cartoons more like in the style of Calvin and Hobbes. And that's what I want my Zooks comic to be. I want my Zooks comic to be like the Calvin and Hobbes or like Sunday, you know, like Zits and stuff like that. I don't want it to be like today's comics, like web comics and stuff like that. I have nothing against them at all. I love them. But in my head, I missed those comics. I missed the 4-panel comics. And then, yeah, it's the same structure, but it's different. I don't know. Like, it's a very similar structure. That's why it's very popular either way. But it's... I don't know. Alright, so we have a little bush here. Let's see. How do you draw shoes and clothing? That's an interesting one. Maybe not today. I don't know if I want to go into clothing right now. Yes, drop us a juicy hint about what you're going to draw tomorrow. I can't. Like, I don't know. I wish I knew. Robinson Fernandez Jr., may I ask, what tablet are you using? Absolutely. I am using Wacom Cintiq 24 or 22. One of the two. I think it's a 24. I got it from them as a thank you for being a panelist in one of their competitions. And see, between that and my iPad Pro, honestly, it depends on the software that I'm using. If I just want to mess around and like draw and paint, Procreate is just hands down king. Like, I can just go to a coffee shop and I can animate something. I can do anything. Like, at this point, it just does everything, and it creates content for me from the videos. So Procreate is king, absolutely king. Let's see. Okay, so let's move on to the pen. I'm gonna take notes about these things. I probably should. We can do it on this one. Okay. So, one thing that I like to do, because I'm a very forgetful person. So what I like to do, I have notebooks and sketchbooks all over the place. And most of them serve different purposes. Some of them serve as just quick notes. Some of them work as more like doodle pads. You know, so, but I always need to have something around so I can actually like visualize things. So the Pen Sharp is great for foliage. Okay, so we have a little bit of foliage. And give me a second. Let me see who's next. Okay, so that was my buddy. He wants to play MTG Arena. I love Magic the Gathering, by the way. Absolutely love it. It's definitely like by far one of my favorite like things in games ever. Okay, so let's move on from that and let's make a G pen. What is the G pen? G pen. It's like smooth. Alright. Okay. Alright, G pen. Alright. This one is giving me a lot of ballpoint pen, gel pen vibes. Duh. That's what G pen stands for. No wonder. This is gonna be good for inking. And let's see. Let's break the opacity of this. Let's see what else we can do with this real fast. Ooh. Yeah. This has to be like a V brush to create really big things with. Like if I have to cover really large areas. There you go. There you go. Set a tree and a fork. One. Some branches. Some imperfections. Tree branch. There we go. Leave a couple white edges. Just gives it texture. Whatever. Some things dropping from it. There we go. So that's how you create like really quick like trees and stuff. Okay, so let's do one more tree. But this one's gonna frame this way. There you go. 240. And then I'm going to show you guys just combining the different brushes that you found. So this one was good for foliage, right? So now it's like foreground foliage. Just like that, you just add a lot of sense to your scene without needing brushes. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can find the brush by the time you like find the right brush, find the right setting. If you're not comfortable with them, it takes you long. Plus, it never gives you creative, like, exact freedom. Like, you still have to train yourself within the parameters of your brush. And how often do you find yourself going back and editing, like, and fixing the stuff from the brush? Like, it's all the time. Okay. Let's add some bushes on the bottom. Yeah, that brush is nice. There we go. Alright, so the G pen is nice for large areas. G pen. Good for large surfaces. All right, and let's move on to the mapping pen. What is a mapping pen? What are you? See? What? It has like a texture to it. Oh, that's cool too. It's kind of like the G pen, but it has texture to it. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, let's see what is this. Okay, so what can we do with it? Well, we can do everything with a textured brush. Let's see. Maybe that's too big though. What does this do? Ooze. Is the ooze the texture? The ooze is the texture. You can control texture? Ah. Ah, that's so cool. Number of lines. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, hello there, Mr. Crosshatch. How cool is that? What? What? Oh my God. What is this? That is so cool. Oh my God, that's gonna have to be a challenge right there. Yes! Almost. Hold on. Alright, okay. I have a pretty steady hand. Let's just make a normal oozy brush. There you go. A little bit less. There you go, that's good enough. Alright, the mapping pen is pretty cool. Let's do something with it. We're gonna drag this underneath everything. Layer here. And we're gonna use this. We're gonna make it gray. A little bit more gray. There you go. So, first, let's just fill this in. We're gonna give ourselves a little ground to work with. Okay. Alright. Let's erase a little bit because I think I did it too high. And then we'll just fill it in. The little bit of texture that it has is perfect for environmental, like grass from the sides. Because when you just have a very minuscule amount of it, you can pass it off as detail in the distance. So I like that. Okay, let's make one more layer. Let's go a bit darker. Lead the eye. Where do we want the eye to lead? So we have everything pointing to this direction, so I want the opening in my composition to lead around here. So we're just gonna have everything go that way. And it's kind of looking like a lake or something. We'll make it work. We'll make it do something. I'm liking the dynamics of this program. It's very similar to Clip Studio. If I find that it has a vector brush, Jesus, that's the only, like, the vector like layers in Clip Studio are the only reason Clip Studio is, for me, the absolute best illustration software. That's the reason. Now, do I want this behind the horizon? Yeah. I want the little plant in the horizon. Alright, so we have, in this case, it kind of looks like something is like illuminating this part right here. It could be whatever we want it to be. Okay, hold on. How do I make that work? We get one color in the whole design as well. So I have to be very... You have to be very mindful of that. That would work though. Nah, I have to be better than that. Okay, let's see. What do I want in the back? Let's go back to black. Then we go back to our Uzi pen. What if we have like a robot? But that's a little bit too forward facing, so I'm gonna make them looking a little bit to the side. Alright, we're gonna have it looks like Bender. I'm just gonna paint him in just to get used to the software. I want to see what I can do. Okay. Yeah, I like this one too. This reminds me of a ballpoint pen. Very comfortable with a ballpoint pen. that. And then let's see. I don't know. Night sky, maybe. Let's try that. Alright, so that's gradient. That's. Oh, interesting. Interesting. There you go. Boom. Okay, so what was happening was that the bucket fill tool was only being it was set to a canvas instead of the layer, so that's why it was only filling out that spot. In this case, I think everything needs to be a lot darker. Let's play with it. Whatever. Alright, so let's move on. Edge pen. What is an edge pen? What? No way. What? Oh man, that's dope for calligraphy. Haha. That's pretty cool. What if we flip it? Oh, you can change the width. Yes, that's cool. Make lightsabers. Neon lights. But for that, we probably would not use size by pressure. Right. Go. Bar and grill. That's cool. I like this one. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Stipple pen. Ooh, what's this? Stipple, 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 stipple. Alright, stippling. Brush spacing. Interesting. Interesting. It's the max. Alright. Okay. Apply foreground color, color jitter. Hue jitter. Oh no, no hue jitter. But how do we make use of hue? Oh, it's gonna be environmental stuff. Say like radioactive stuff leaking from this guy. And I'm making a big mistake by just painting in the same layer, but I know it doesn't matter. A little bit of that light hitting objects can change the look of your entire piece. Just little hints of light here and there. Ideally inside the object. You know, light hits edges, light creates detail, shadows create depth. Ah. There you go. Eyedropper. Okay, eyedropper is still eye. good to know. That's a little too much. Okay, so when you need to cover really large areas with something, drop the opacity to like 5%. Because that's really the only way that you're going to be able to layer it. It's going to take a long time to do it, or longer than normal, but it normally gives you that soft edge to things that you might really want. We have a little bit of light there now. Alright, let's move down. Stipple pen's pretty cool. Sumi brush. What do you do, Sumi brush? Why are you cool? Impress me. Interesting. Huh. It kind of feels like a Coley Race pencil. Interesting. I can definitely see myself sketching with this at first. Sumi, huh? This reminds me of the iPad. The iPad, like the way that the iPad feels. Huh. Yeah, it's very easy to sketch with this. I like this one. It has like an imperfection to it too. Interesting. Okay. Let's draw something with it. Let's see. So we need foreground elements. Let's make like a little cabin. We'll bring these down. So if somebody would set up probably with the view towards the water. So if we use that as a horizon line, we can just map everything out towards that. And then it's the little details. Like, it was really hard for me at first to come up with buildings and all that stuff. But when you start learning the little details that go into drawing different houses and stuff, like it's just like drawing different people. Like you just have to draw a bunch of houses in order to understand how a house kind of looks like a house. And the more you do it, the more you're better at it. But if you don't do it at all, then you're never going to get good at it. Yeah, and it's like one of those things like people just don't like doing. And I get it. I hated doing it too. Well, I hated it until I understood the importance of it. Once I understood the importance of it, it was it was a no-brainer to me. It's like, yeah, you have to just get good. Draw some people for scale. If you want to make this guy gigantic, we can draw like a cruise ship or something. And then just give that the same yellow highlights. And there you go. Now you have a super gigantic robot. Let's see. Yeah, this one's definitely not like a filling brush, like at all. It would take too long, so I gotta get used to transferring to the G pen, coloring things in. And I gotta find out how to, like, where's the opacity for this? Oh, there it is. Alright, so our scene is coming out pretty cool. Learning how to make the brushes, use the brushes, has been successful. Alright. Let's see. Let's move on. Let's move on. Sumi E was pretty cool, gotta say. Gotta admit. That Sumi E brush was pretty damn cool. Now the watercolor brushes, huh? What is this? Let's see. No way. Okay, that's pretty cool. They kind of blend like watercolors. Color mixing level. Complement. Okay, maybe not so much. This is pretty cool, guys. That's really cool. Probably not for the competition tomorrow because you can only use one color. But that's a really cool one to use. This is a watercolor, but wet. Oh, this one's smoother. Interesting. Interesting. Acrylics. Huh. I kind of like this just for drawing. Interesting. Let's see. Let's get rid of this side. Okay. Let's just draw something else in here. What do we want to draw? Should draw Archie staring at us like a creeper. Oh man, I'm excited to the new Kamigawa set. It's gonna be dope. Yes, it. Honestly, I hate the fact that they rotate so much. It just takes away so much creativity. Procreate update is coming. Let's see. Let's go back. I'm scared to use a drawing tablet for PC without a screen attached. Like, how do you find where your pen is on the screen? the same as on the iPad when you have it like literally touching the screen. It's now when you're drawing to the ones that like you're like this, it's all about muscle memory. I like hand-eye coordination. It's like playing a video game. You get used to it really quick. How do you draw shoes and clothing now? Drops a juicy hint. I can't. Procreate is great, yeah. Portability of the iPad is where it's at. Yes, it is. I'm excited for the new Kamigawa set. Next stream, you should draw your own magic card. Some people actually made one. It was pretty cool. How does that competition work? Well, after the stream here, I'm gonna be on I'll drop it on my Instagram. I'll drop the Twitch stream like link and everything so you guys can join me tomorrow. I believe for Pacific time, it's at around 11 in the morning. I'm going to probably be logged in here till from like 10:30 on till I don't have to compete anymore. So it's around that time. So make sure that you guys aren't doing anything for that hour. Let's see. Don't forget to like the stream. Yes, thank you, Mr. Dragons on Stilts. He always reminds everybody. Please like the stream. It takes a second, helps me out, gets my videos seen more. I've downloaded brushes from the Creative Market, but when I go to download them after purchase, it's not highlighted. Would you be able to help with that? No. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't use this software. Not that much. Is painting tonight like Bob Ross, or should I say Rod Ross? You know what? Somebody compared me like to him, and that's an honor, man. That's a really cool honor. Okay, so with keeping with the perspective and like scaling issues, right? So let's say we would just wanted to draw somebody incredibly like in the foreground. So we're going to draw a blob. And this blob will be something. The blob will be... What do you guys want it to be? Ah, there you go. It'll be a person. Leaning back. Looking at everything unfolding. There you go. And then we're gonna use lighting and the shadows and everything to give it shape. Let's cut them down. Okay, it might be a little too big still. So this is just another way of creating like, you know, like artwork. If you want to introduce an element of randomness to your stuff, allow yourself to just start visualizing shapes. Like right now, this turned into like a little girl with pigtails that's looking at the robot, and she's gonna be carrying something or other. So just seeing the negative space there, maybe round this up a little bit more. Right, there you go. The ear wouldn't show. There you go. Okay, so we can work with that. And then by just adding whites, or even better, adding the color from the light that's hitting, and zoom in a little bit more. And we're going to add just a little bit of light. Just a tiny bit where it would hit, which would be the edge of her head, which would highlight a little bit of her hair. gonna decide that the part of the hair would be right there. No real light would hit behind her. So what you gotta do is you gotta make sure that the front lines define the shape enough. Now the light would hit down here, depending on what she's grabbing. This kind of seems like her knuckle into a jacket, maybe. And her hair would still be lit up. The closer it gets to the edge of the hair, the more transparent it is, therefore you see a little bit more light. You'd probably see little tiny hairs sticking out like that as well, just because the light would be hitting it. A little bit of sleeve showing, and we need it to hit right there because otherwise you can't define this side. Okay, this brush is pretty cool too. The acrylic one, like that, it's like super clean. Let's give her a backpack. And we'll add a light source right here so that we can provide a little bit more light to the scene. And well, we can't just have a light, we need light, right? We have to like draw something that contains the light. Just make a little lamp. Okay. And then so now we can define this side of the backpack because the light from here is hitting it. Define this side of the body. And maybe a little bit on the back. Too much. Alright, there you go. Alright, so now we have a character in the front that's looking at a distance. Now, in this case, the robot would probably be a little bit not so. Actually, I think the very back needs to be darker. So, is it L? Nope. Levels? Nope. Is it? There you go. So, L busts out the levels just like any other program. Perfect. I just wanted to make it a little darker so that I could add a little bit of a gradient from this color. And I wanted to try out the blur tools. So I'm gonna add a little bit of color. And then we're gonna go to the blur tool. And ooh, it does blur. You know, that's like the one tool from Photoshop that I absolutely hate using. What was it? Acrylic. So I'm gonna make the environmental stuff with this one and then just blurring it. And you'll see how I'm gonna layer this, like these little blurry things. I'm probably gonna make them a little bit more transparent or opaque, and then I'm gonna add another one at the top that's gonna cover a little bit of the robot here, maybe a little bit of the house, just a little bit here, a little bit here. Just enough that it adds a little bit of environmental stuff. The fog, the whatever you want. Right? We're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna blur it. And then we're gonna drop the opacity a little. And that's how you start getting fog. Ta-da! Now that robot needs to be blurred out a little bit. Where are you, Mr. Robot? Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot. Which one are you? See that? This is what happens. Okay, that's a robot. So I'm just gonna take the blur tool and I'm just gonna blur him. Because you would not be able to really see him. You would see just like shadows and stuff. Right? And then, no folder. Let's give this guy some color. And really make him like look like a shadow in the back. Alright, so we have that. Now let's take care of the water a little bit. I'm going to lock pixels and I'm going to just start painting with a really soft brush and just adding in. Because the water is only reflecting the things in the environment. If it does not have anything to reflect, it just reflects darkness. In this case, the sky is pretty dark, so the water would not be that dark. Okay. We go in a little bit smaller and we start creating ripples. Ripples, I like to just do them by just going back and forth in kind of zigzag key shapes, going through the whole thing. And then if we go with a white, let's make a layer on top of that. Let's go with Sumi brush, and we're gonna go in and just make little tiny lines. And since there's no white light, don't use white. Like, people overuse white for their lighting. Okay, we have that. Alright, okay. What else are we missing? A little bit in the sand. Just a little bit of a gradient. Alright. There you go. Getting there, we're getting there. Alright, now we can add like, I don't know. Some, that same color, Boom. Same color. Let's see. Sparkle brush. Oh, what is this? I'll make some fireflies now. Nah, no fireflies. What is this? Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so dope. So the ones in the water would have to be blurred because they would reflect a little bit less. There you go. Well, that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that effect. It's interesting. Alright, so that's the rotation symmetry brush. Eraser soft, eraser hard. Still don't know how to use the eraser brush right. Let's see, what else can we add to this? That looks amazing, I agree. It does look like a Scooby-Doo scene. Kinda. Let's see. What else could we add to this? No, we only have one color. Okay, let's play with screen tones. Where were they? Where were the screen tones? What is this one? No, that's not it. I found like this really interesting thing that I could do. But it was where is it? See, these are all the things I need to learn how to do. So like pen, text, objects, palette. It's palette. Navigator. Reference, brush size, keyboard support. Interesting. What's a dot brush? I'm guessing this is pixel brush. It's this one right here. Interesting. Tools. Bucket, gradient, lasso, magic wand, lock to text, object, device. I swear I found some. Where were they? I'd have to. There you go. Okay, so how does this work? How does that work? Did it add it? No. How do you delete the layer? That's gonna be an issue. Okay, it has to be a button here, right? There you go. Right. I know how to use these things. Okay, let's see. One thing that I guess I could add is stars. Pen sharp, because that's the texture. That's the non-texture. That's the one we use for the foliage, so we can use this one as well for stars. Too many together. Forget there's like constellations and stuff. Okay. We'll blur them a little bit. Only one or two. That should be like nice and bright. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? Honestly, I think that's enough for that one. That came out pretty cool. That came out pretty interesting. Let's see. This looks amazing. Definitely Scooby-Doo vibes, and it looks great. Okay, let's draw something else. Let's just delete everything. Yeah, fuck it. Delete it. Delete it! Goodbye, robot. You were a good test. You guys might wonder, why? Why would you do that? Because I'll never have any use for that piece of art. That's literally just to practice this. So I'm going to learn the way that I draw everything in my other software. So let's see. Out of all the brushes so far, I really enjoyed the acrylic brush. The acrylic brush was fun for sketching. And the Sumi brush? Sumi brush? Is it Sumi? Oh, no, it wasn't the stipple pen. It wasn't the mapping pen, was it? Oh, the mapping pen was good too. It's nice and smooth. And the little Uzis are pretty cool. But the Sumi, is it Sumi? Yeah, this one's pretty cool too. Let's see, what should we draw? Let's test out the rest of the stuff, I guess. Not selection tool. What tool was that? Select tool. Lasso tool. If you guys remember, I do enjoy myself a lasso tool. So. Alright. I don't know why that song is stuck in there. Alright, we'll do something with this. Pew 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 pew. You gotta remember to put back the pen. Sumi. No, what was it? Mapping pen. Well, up the Uzis. The Uzis. And we're gonna do the second layer. And then if we fill that in twice, 3 times. Alright. Alright. So, what I like to do a lot when I'm doing my art is to shift back and forth between hard edges and soft edges depending on where I want the focus to be. And just for fun, because Let's see, acrylic brush. Yeah, this one's really nice. I like the texture that you get with it. Alright, so this one's pretty cool. I like it. Let's see. Yeah, I like this brush a lot. This is gonna be my go-to for tomorrow, most likely. Okay, so I can change between two colors really quickly. In this case, black and white. It's gonna be convenient. I want to get better at identifying shapes by just light. And that is going to be a gold mine for the next coming sketchbooks. So again, needs to be going back. So this is the thumb. This one out. See, comic books use this a lot, and it's also something that's used a lot in editorial cartooning. So it's definitely a technique about contrasts. Yeah, I'm comfortable in the software. I think I found it. You have a favorite project that you've worked on? If so, what made it fun for you? I have a lot of projects that I've worked on that have been incredibly fulfilling for me. Yeah, let me show you guys one. Let me get off of the muddy whatever. Alright, so one huge project, two of them actually, that I'm most proud of. I probably the Book Fairy, which is something that you can buy on Amazon or from puppydogsandicecream.com. I illustrated this whole book, and it was illustrated for Mary Lee Joy Mayfield. which is the author, and I got to do some really, really, really nice illustrations for her. And it was an amazing project, and I got a lot of creative liberty, a lot of creative freedom, and I got to essentially draw a kid's book in the style that I wish that I would be able to draw. It was a very, very, it was a challenging thing, mostly because I had to keep within certain requirements when it came down to printing. And let's just say I'm a very difficult person to work with, even if I'm the one doing the editing. But it came out really, really nice. And it was really, really something that I'm incredibly proud of. Like, I'm really, really happy I did that. Now, the other one is my chapter on how to age people from the character designers for 21 Draw. It's like a 20-page long, like, how to properly draw people of certain ages. And it's something I put a lot of effort in, and the course that I did for them is also something that I'm very proud of. Now, the most recent thing is, it's not these. This is one from the old batch. Coffee Break Doodles, Volume 1, my sketchbook, is about 2 weeks away from being in my hands. So I'm incredibly excited for that. And that is, I ordered like 200 copies. Half of those are already gone from pre-orders, but I will set up, once I get them, I'm going to set them up, and it's going to be first come, first serve. I know they're going to go quick. So I'll keep you guys updated. Go follow me on Instagram. Let's get back to the drawing. All right. So I think I found the pens that I'm going to be using tomorrow. It's going to probably be the acrylic brush to draw my things out. Yeah, this is going to be the brush I sketch with. It's just going to be nice and fluid. If I change it to smaller, I can probably draw finer detail, but it's going to keep me nice and loose. And that's the one thing that's incredibly hard when it comes down to drawing digital, is to being able to keep that that feel for a sketch, but still have it be digital. It's incredibly hard. And a lot of the times, whenever you're drawing digital, you end up losing a lot when it comes down to to the liveliness of your sketch, because we go for perfection instead of feel, and that's something horribly wrong. Like, you should never do that. Let's draw a quick pinup. Haven't drawn pinups in a while. So with pinups, oh yeah, that's another project that I'm incredibly proud of. My pinup book. It's somewhere around here. I still gotta scan everything. I need more. I need like people on my team. I need a team. Like, alright, so we're gonna make that the booty. That's gonna be the back. That's gonna be a shoulder. It's gonna be a hand coming in from out here. So we one shoulder, one shoulder. So we have the front of that. The neck comes from here. That depends on what we want to do with their face. I'm gonna have her looking back a little bit. Shoulders down. So that works. The face should be around here. The hand, what do we want the hand to be doing? I'll leave that. Okay. So now we are enhancing the butte. So there's no like need to make like gigantic breasts. Like there's already an emphasis in there. So we want it to be the booty. So we're just gonna draw the booty. Okay. Do we want it to be like a certain character? If you guys come up with a character within like the next like 4 or 5 minutes, not even 4 minutes, like within in the chat, whoever posts who they want it to be, I'll probably draw that. Who does it look like? Let's see. I have that 21 drop book and it is amazing. Yeah, the whole book is really, really good. I feel like my issue with digital drawing is that I know I can delete and not leave a mark. Yeah, but that's not. That's a problem. Like it's not necessarily a good thing. Like I said, a lot of things get lost along the way. I need to figure out how to do this brush thing. Eraser, why are you not soft? Soft edge, opacity by pressure, brush size. Why? Why are you not soft? I'm like this. Bam. That is the one thing that's gonna throw me off tonight. Not having a soft brush. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Can I just do that? No, apparently not. Why is the eraser tool the only brush that doesn't change? Interesting. There you go. But I guess I'm just gonna stick to that. Alright. What was I using? Acrylic. There. Alright, so we have our arm, our hand, our cellars, into our shirt, into our neck, into our ear. It gives us the side of the head. And now it's just a matter of stylizing it how we want it stylized. Now the arm, I have it bent like this, so I guess the thumb would be maybe she's like licking her thumb or something. Yeah. do if you did that with yours? Yeah, something like that, I guess. Alright, let's give her short hair. I feel like I don't draw enough short hair. Just realized I don't really know many short hair hairstyles. You can have like an ear popping out if you want. We gotta define the body a little bit different now that the hair is occupying space that I didn't foresee. Past that. There you go. Let's make the other arm. The other arm will be holding on to the other arm. There. And then the boot. So we have the forehead, temples, eyes, and this is where the mouth would be. So that means that the eyes have to be within this area and this area. A little bit lower, maybe. Okay, let's make the nose bridge. And this is where we decide how much nose we want. Okay, let's just refine, 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 refine. Okay. So let's, I don't know, give her some Daisy Dukes or something. So with clothing, since you guys asked for clothing, right? So clothing still wraps around the body elements. So in this case, the leg, right? So if I'm drawing shorts, they're wrapping around the leg. They're not just like magically like coming out of her crotch or something. And when you have things that are very, very tight on, you know, like ladies, they create creases, indents. Right? So it creates little tiny marks on the body, and they go around the body. So in this case, the pocket, like I'm looking at a 3D object here, even though it's like a butt. So I know that the pocket is still going to be around here if there's a pocket to have. And then the other one would be around here, curving up. Right? You can make frayed edges if you want. Okay, we can go with the whole cowgirl theme or whatever. give her one of those flannel shirts or whatever. The tie in the front. Flannel also has texture, so you have to kind of map out the texture of the flannel. And you go from there. Yeah, her back is impossibly like deformed. I get it. No, trust me, I understand. Let's change here a little bit, clean up a tiny bit. So when it comes down to pinups, I think the most important aspect is subtlety. Like, it's something that I've yet to achieve, like, the way that I want it. But I eventually want to be able to, you know, very subtly position the body figure of a female and get the same level of emotion that I can get from all my other drawings, from like the cute animals and stuff like that. That is my eventual goal. Alright, let's fill in some hair. Her hair is a little bit too high. Remember, hair only sits on top of the skull. So the skull for this lady right here is not that high. So if you draw it too big, it just looks like a wig. Okay. Alright, so we have hands. Let's just make a quick white. Where do we want white? We wanted white in the phrase. Maybe just adding a little bit of shine to her butt, to the parts that would be shiny. Okay. Then we'll add a little bit darker gray. And we add that to the background. Again, we're going to play off contrasts to bring everything up. I'm going to add all my midtones, my shadows. Things to define shape, which in this case would be where the emphasis was that we wanted to have. and then we blur out any edge that is supposed to be demonstrating roundness. Sharp edges don't represent roundness. Okay. Alright, well, that's a pinup. I think I'm pretty confident with this setup right now. I'm not gonna have any problems tomorrow creating whatever I need. I think I'm pretty confident I'm gonna do good. Feeling pretty happy. I gotta learn a better way to draw buoy. Ooh, okay, scale. How do you scale things? I don't see any edges. View. So tab bar. Edit. How do you scale things? Weird. Okay, hold on. I need to figure out how to scale things. Okay, does anybody know how to do this? Like, why can't I see the edges? How do you scale things in this program? Weird. Okay, I'm gonna need to figure that out. In the brush settings, you can check the box for opacity by pressure and soft edge. That might help. Huh. How do you scale things? Tools. Gradient, lasso, magic wand, object. Object? No, that's not it. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Maybe if I go lasso tool? Now does it level scaling? Weird. I don't like that. Transform. There you go. Alright. Okay. Don't apply. Alright. Where was that shit? What was Apple T? There you go. Oh. Found it. Okay. That. And then we go. Let's rotate. There you go. No. Cancel. No. Don't. Okay, that's gonna get annoying. All right. Okay, so apple tea is the. All right, so yeah, not bad for like a 10-minute pinup. Let's see. Let's add some highlights in. Oh, we have a color. Like booby color. There's booby. Right. Yay! And then, I don't know, we can make her like lipstick back or something. And we'll give her like some gold on her makeup. And a nose ring. And sparkled pants, bedazzled. All the bedazzling. Nah, I don't like that. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm good with this. And then we can give her a lightsaber. Okay, hold on. That's cool. And then you just blur it a little. Okay, I think at this point I'm just messing around. In the brush settings, drag a square. So you don't need to do that. You can literally just have that selected and just go the Apple T, and then they'll provide you a menu, and then you can do that like that. Yeah, that's it's pretty cool. All right, everybody. Unless you let me see if you guys have any more questions. If you guys have any more questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them before I get off stream. If not, then I'm a go. So, any last questions you guys might have, make sure to let me know right now. Where were all the questions? Hold on. Where did my chat go? There it is. Okay. Well, it seems like everybody, that's gonna be it for tonight. I think I got myself a good amount of practice for this, and I need to post that link for you guys before it's too late. It's gonna be around 11 o'clock tomorrow, but there's a lot of other people competing. So, honestly, tune in. Like, it's going to be awesome. It's gonna be really cool stuff. So, make sure to tune in. And, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright? Later.